противник на нашу погибель, как тонет подводные лодки. Но мы тоже люди, не промах. Мы прячемся в черные дыры. У нас есть такие приборы, но мы вам про них не расскажем. А колонгесты — это хорошо. Да! И взрослые знают, и дети. Мы радость творим на планете. А колонгесты — это не игра. Когда мы выходим на берег, то девочки радостно встают, и мы начинаем рассказывать про разные трудности моря. Но хватит, забыла сирена, и мы быстро прыгаем в воду. Мы жить не привыкли на суше, мы любим нырять и купаться. Аквалангисты — это хорошо. Да! И взрослые знают, и дети. Мы радость творим на планете. Аквалангисты — это не игра. Меня укусила акула, тебя укусила акула, ее укусила акула, да нас всех укусила акула. Аквалангисты — это не игра.
Hello, I'm a nostalgia Skitari. I looted so you don't have to. Anyway, good evening, afternoon, or whatever time of day it is in your part of the world. And tonight, we're back to playing Mechanicus. I think we'll be able to take on at least one more boss during the stream. Two, if we're feeling a bit spicy. We'll see how that one goes. For now, before we begin, let me also impart on you a quote from a good book, TM. It is arrogance itself, taking a name like Infinite. Only the divine are infinite. Catan Shard of the Deceiver speaking to Trazyn from the book The Infinite and the Divine. This may or may not allude to one of the bosses we'll be going against. Oh, and before we went into that one, just a second, gonna have to skip over the intro, even though it is a pretty good one. And game capture on. Will it still shift? Of course. Still, we are good in that regard. And what was I going to mention? Give me a second to remember, what was it? Ah, right. We also unlocked two more achievements last week, which was Fleshy Disposal, defeat Ulbiao, and Half a Cog, reach 50% in the Awakening gauge. One is good, the other not so much, as it almost often happens. Now then, I believe we can proceed with what is about to happen. When was the last save? Over here. Alright then, let me remind myself also as to what other rewards we've got. So the Heretic mission will give us the Spotlight and the Skitari Ranger upgrade. Quartermaster Row mission will give us Heavy Phosphor Blaster. Capra will give us Scanner and Sicarian Infiltrator upgrade, which is useless TBH. Now, what do we have from Videx? Flesh Harvest. Gauss Gamma Pistol and Omnispecs. Absolute Power, Cog Occultaris, which would be useful on Leonardus, and the Skitari Vanguard upgrade, also useful. And when the stars are wrong, Cognition Mechadendrite upgrade. 3 augment points, but 3 cognition points. This will be huge. We'll never be lacking for cognition points after that, if you ask me. That one sounds the most appealing so far. But let's go over what Scaevola has to offer. For Grave Goods, we've got Phosphorus Serpenta and Cognitive Canister. Rending the Veil, Incending Combustor and Sanctus Canister upgrade. The House of Wisdom, Solar Atomizer. Fires in a straight line passing through all units and walls. And walls, this is important. 8 to 10 energy damage to targets. And Machine Spirit just makes it deal more damage. That would be our second candidate. But we'll be facing a lot of enemies in here. What do we have? 2 variants of Triarch Praetorians, Cryptek, Lichguard, Necron Destroyer, and Necron Varguard. I believe we're gonna be encountering Varguards when we'll be dealing with the Lord Astronomer. But we'll get to that one a little later. For now, I'm thinking we go with this one first. When the stars are wrong. Videx has requested destruction of this chamber. A request to demolish all the knowledge that Lord Acropis has stored here will indicate Videx's quest for a safer galaxy, but will displease those aboard who might wish this data preserved. But Cognition Mechadendrite will be worth it, I'm thinking. Before that, let me think as to what upgrades we can hand over to our cohort. Oriacus, I'm thinking we'll leave him as is. Regular Omnissiah X, Cognis Flamer, Gamma Pistol. Maybe we could replace it with something like, oh, I don't know, something less intense, like say... No, not the Heavy Arc Rifle, not the Arc Pistol, no. The Gamma Pistol seems to be the most straight-up option, because the Phosphor Blast Pistol is, well, useful for revealing target statistics. Does not have the armor ignore like the Gamma Pistol, so it's nice, pure damage. On the other hand, we might replace the Omnissiah X with something else, like, say, the Xenorite X or the second version of the Power X, for just a little bit more physical damage. I think we can go for that. And there we go, his augments are filled out. Let's also continue upgrading his Secutor tree. Command Fire. All troops in range attack selected target. This will be useful. And let's look at any present augments. What do we have? Head, plus 2 HP and 1 energy armor. Torso, 4 HP. Arm, 2 HP, 20% crit chance. I'm thinking we go for the head augment. Right now, his Engine Seer head gives him 1 physical armor. If we trade that, we'll be stuck with just energy armor, which may be suboptimal, so we're just gonna hold on to that one. Let's see next, Jeremiah. You're our Varied Beatstick. There's the Curatio Mechadendrite with a nice self-heal that we can stick on you, but we don't have any free augment slots for that one. So maybe later, but we will definitely be replacing this Cognition Mechadendrite with possibly this one. Just gonna need to give you 1 more point, and I'm thinking that one goes to Tech Auxilium. Sure, Torso. This one just gives you 4 HP right now. So I'm thinking it's definitely worth the trade-off. No, that's a straight-up upgrade. Just gonna do it like so. And we replace your current cognition mechadendrite with a better one. Next, Monarius. He's our ranged beatstick. All about energy damage. Maybe we'll need to replace one of his weapons with something else. The Plasma Culverin definitely proved itself worthy. Heavy Arc Rifle is decent, but maybe we'll need something with the physical presence. Like, not exactly Cognis Flamer, maybe Phosphor Blast. No, not the Phosphor Blaster. Like Phosphor Blaster, but something. Why do I say Phosphor Blaster when it's Cognis Flamer? Something better in that regard. And that's where that. What was it? This one, yeah, no, not the heavy Phosphor Blaster. And not that one. Solar Atomizer is nice, but there it is. Incendine Combustor, which is basically an upgrade for Cognis Flamer. This might be useful. But first things first, when the stars are wrong. So there we have it. Jeremiah, Leonardus, Monarius, Oriacus. I'm gonna need to find 2 more Tech Priest slots after that. And 2 Skitari Rangers. 1 Skitari Ranger Alpha, and 1 Skitari Vanguard. Off we go. The efforts in purifying the Tomb of Acropis have borne sacred fruit, Magus. Skitari units following up on our rituals have located a chamber where all of Lord Acropis's blasphemies are recorded in detail. I imagine you are requesting this place to be destroyed, Videx. Very prescient of you, Magus. This is indeed my goal. Acropis recorded his theories of his obscene model of the galaxy in the inscriptions lining the chamber walls. Gathalamorian 714.5. Obliterate his words, cut out his tongue, put to fire all wrought by his hand, and the heretic shall cease to exist. Imperative Prime, discourse required, go to conversational, interrupt. What have you to say, Tech Acquisitor? Lector Dogmatis Videx desires destruction of Xenos knowledge. If Videx indulged, then +++ potential lost. Videx's fanaticism has grated against all of us at times, but he has not been wrong before. You cannot step back from this act, Magus. Destruction of knowledge, of Messiah's will equal falls. You stand on a precipice. Only the void lies ahead. I shall think on what you have said, Scaevola, but the choice is mine and my responsibility. Don't worry, we'll make one mission with you to balance it out. The target chamber is deep inside the tomb and difficult to reach. The Skitari have had to fall back from area and maintain a perimeter instead of moving deeper. My tech priests will achieve what they cannot. Eokilkesians 6024. Men fueled by the righteousness of their purpose can achieve what armies cannot. Lord Acropis's blasphemy shall be scoured from this world, and all the works of the Necrons shall follow. The Necrons seem to be guarding this chamber in particular, Magus. Expect heavy resistance. I always do, Subdomina. But let's see about our way. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The most optimal route. Poor Scaevola just wants some Necron goodies. And she will get them as a treat. So, what do we have? Destroyer, 3 Immortals. All of them with Gauss cannons, with nasty-looking bayonets. As per usual, Jeremiah goes here, Leonardus here, Monarius right behind them, and Oriacus over here. Off we go. First shot. 4 damage. Not the most, but we get cognition out of this, so it all balances out. Now, let's think about what we can do. Oh, we also have one console to scan here, but that's neither here nor there. But what we will do is grab these 3 cognition points, because we are feeling greedy, and we're gonna put that Necron Immortal to rest. Which means Cognition, Mechadendrite, Stab. What do you have? Only energy armor. Precisely what we need. Power field generator on. And goodbye. Or at least get heavily damaged. 13. Always nice to have. Always nice to see those crits popping up, thanks to Cog Occultaris. And we stay right here. On to Oriacus. I'm thinking we scan this Immortal. Physical armor. I see. In that case, we quickly dash over here, grab that 1 cognition point, and stay right here for now. While we're at it, distant prayers on Manarius. That should be good enough. First shot goes through, 6 damage. Unfortunate. But this should be good to deal with the rest of them. Bit more cognition we get over here. Maybe even here, so that we don't stand right next to their spawn point. Now tell me about this destroyer. See? Energy armor only. Which is why we need diversity in our lineup of ranged damage. Here's what I'm thinking we're gonna do. First of all, Cognition Freedom. Then, Energy Enhancer, which we gotta replace for a better option, because just +1 damage is not going to cut it soon enough. And then we go for a Plasma Culverin. No. Heavy Arc Rifle. Although this will damage Leonardus. So maybe we will go for Plasma Culverin to strip some armor from you. This will be optimal. And nice critical. Very nice. Now, Jeremiah, would you like to get in up close and personal and teach more of them about what it is? I'm sure you are. Especially with that Cognition Mechadendrite of yours. First of all, though, what do we know about this one? Energy armor. As expected. But that's why we've got this Power Axe on us. So let's go say hello to the Destroyer over there. Not before we probe him for cognition. And now, you're free to die. Next we get over here. We pop Cognition Freedom. And we bring out the Arc Scourge. Some damage is better than no damage at all. Go down. Very good. Next, this one's gonna fire. How much? 5 damage. We're gonna need to fix you up soon enough. Here come some Canoptech Scarabs, which is not an issue. And the Lich Guard. Now that is an issue. Grabbing that cognition. Sweet, sweet cognition. Now we can deploy one Skitari Ranger here. And one Skitari Vanguard here. We're good. Grab the rest of the cognition points. Now you can. Like that, there you go. Now, fix yourself up a little. And I know you've got physical armor, but the machine speed on our Power X has been charged, so we're gonna strip your armor privileges. Especially with these crits. So stay right here. And we might as well give some physical armor to Mechanicus. This is gonna be unpleasant. But nothing we cannot deal with. Now let's consider our options. I don't know exactly how strong he is going to be, so let's just walk away at first. You do your damage, we'll repair it back up. With this handy tool. And then we can apply Cognis Flamer to both of yous. Canoptech Scarabs are as good as gone. Here comes counterattack with 3 damage, that's bearable. You try to get away, you get whacked. Almost. We'll get to you in a second. That one's gonna hurt. 6 damage. Now, Mechanicus, time for you to learn how to play Keep Away with Necrons. I'm gonna bust out the heavy arc rifle for this one. Very nice. Guess you only had physical armor. I'd say a worthwhile investment. We can stay right here. Next, Skitarii Vanguard will be on cleanup duty, because we do not want that destroyer to go back up. Skitarii Ranger, in the meantime, will do some damage to this one. Very good, very good. This will be also pretty good damage. And we even sheared some off from the Necron Awakening. Now we're just gonna walk up here and say goodbye. And might as well finish you off. Boom. Execute it. Anyone else? No, I don't think it is. This one will just try to walk away, and will get stabbed. Or rather, sliced. And we're done here. Very good opener. We'll fix up Leonardus next battle. A grand vista of the night sky over Silver Tenebris dominates the ceiling of this chamber. It has enough detail to serve as a stellar map, and a few of the heavenly bodies local to this star system are visible. Collect, collapse, or compare. Let's try comparing. Juxtapose the star map with the current sky over Silver Tenebris to learn of any differences between the two. The map on the ceiling shows marked differences to the current alignment of the stars over this planet. Though exact analysis will take some more time, the stellar drift indicates the age of the map on the ceiling is to be in the order of tens of millions of years. As expected. Let's see. The good glyph should be, if I'm remembering correctly, this one. Yes. All units healed for 2 HP. Nice. Now we're gonna hit Tomb Level Awakening 1. And into the second encounter we go. Three Immortals and the Lich Guard. There's the Lich Guard, and the Immortals are spread out. And I see 4 juicy consoles, which we may try and get to in order to get us some more Blackstone. Here's how we're gonna do this. Jeremiah goes here. Leonardus goes here. Manarius will back up Leonardus. And Oriacus... No, rather, Manarius will back up Jeremiah, and Oriacus will back up Leonardus. Next, we'll be deploying a Skitari Ranger on each side for some cognition, or rather, for stat reveal. But let's look at our first contestant. Physical armor only. So we're just gonna go for a quick stab. And move on up. Maybe even like so. Give me that sugar, baby. Okay, he lives through that. Very nice. Here comes the second Immortal. Now, Oriacus, how about you fix up this one first? And buff him with your service cowl. In the meantime, you can move up over here. And at least plink away with your Gamma Pistol. Remember, some damage is better than no damage. Next up, Manarius. What can you tell me about this Lich Guard? 2 physical, 7 energy. I see how it is. Still, not the worst that we can encounter, so we're just gonna pop everything we can. We can move up a little closer. And then we bring out the heavy arc rifle, or maybe plasma culverin. Yeah, strip away some energy armor from you. Oh, that surpassed my expectations. Nicely done, nicely done. You continue to surprise me, Manarius. Then again, I shouldn't be surprised. After all, I kitted you out myself into this powerhouse of a ranged beatstick. This one? No, this one. Wonder if it'll have the same effect. Not quite, but a crit was nice. Now he shoots, he scores. Ooh, 8 damage. Nasty. But while we're at it, what are you made out of? Nothing. Nothing by this point in time. Back to dust you go. Jeremiah will most likely put to sleep that one. Just gonna give it a little push with Phosphor Blast Pistol. And then we can start moving towards that immortal. Now, the Skitari Ranger here will most likely disable this one. Now, can you reach that one? You absolutely can. Physical armor. That's nice to see. Very nice. Now fall back a little. Some Canoptech Scarabs decided to show up. Not a problem. Now we can deploy Skitari Ranger Alpha to help with bashing those consoles. And let's get right to it. Scan that one, so 5 damage, very good. Now, how did that one meme go? Let me actually pull it up so that you know what I'm talking about. Was it somewhere here? After all, I posted that one myself. Uh-huh. Now let's see if I can. I absolutely can. There it is. Play Necron Strike Force. Too sleepy to strategize? Consider the following. 150 Canoptech Scarabs. No warriors, no Catan, just Scarabs. You will certainly not regret fielding 150 Canoptech Scarabs. I might even put this one over here. Just because I like it very much. Let me know if you can see it. But in the meantime, we grab the rest of the Blackstone because we needs it. We needs it, my precious. Physical armor would be kind of useless right now, so we'll leave it there. He shoots, he dodges. Very nice. But here comes Scarabs to fix him up. This will be a futile endeavor once we bring out the Arc Scourge. First of all, Command Fire will affect only one Skitari, but it will deal some nice damage. First of all, however, we grab that Cognition, we move in from this angle. Another shot from the Gamma Pistol to start us off. I think I'll apply some Cognis Flamer as well. Damage absorbed, but burn applied. And now we can start applying the Power Axe. Even if it's just 3 damage, it's always nice. And, before we forget, Distant Prayers to fix our brother up. Can we shoot you from this angle? No, just the Canoptech Scarabs. So I'm thinking we leave you in reserve until at least Cognition Freedom procs back up, or we grab more Cognition points. Never a bad idea. As expected, They go up here to fix them up. Which means we go over here. We shoot another galvanic rifle shot. And we shoot a disabling shot at his ass. Very nice. And now, time for some strategizing. Which means we pop Cognition Freedom. And we break out the Arc Scourge to deal with both of them. Then we also apply Phosphor Blast Pistol. And we move up close to first apply Cognition Mechadendrite. And then the Power Axe. Shoot him some more. And stay where you are. Back to Awakening level 1. This is alright. I don't expect there will be more of them, so not deploying Skitarii Vanguard because this will be over soon. Now, Ranger Alpha. Start whacking. Very good. Back down to 0. No more reinforcements for you, Necrons. I'll make sure of that. We haven't probed you for more cognition, so stand still. Thank you. But now it's time to go to sleep. Alright? Thank you for your cooperation. Go to sleep. While I grab all of that cognition. So and so. You try to move away, you get whacked. Even if it's just 1 damage. But I don't appreciate you shooting my underlings, especially for that much damage. You know what this calls for? Skitarii, whack his balls off. That's exactly why I picked out this meme in particular. And it worked out just fine. An image of a Necron Lord who can only be Acropis dominates one wall of this chamber. The image is surrounded by complex star charts and diagrams of unknown constellations. Clearly, given the objective of this mission, such an icon of blasphemy cannot be allowed to stand. Destroy it with explosives. Report its location to Skitarii units so they can follow up and destroy it. Topple it by hand so it shatters on the floor, hopefully without as much noise as an explosive demolition. This may give us more Blackstone, so let's go with that. The icon tips forward and topples, slamming into the floor and shattering into thousands of pieces. Behind it is revealed a hidden chamber containing artifacts and caches of building materials, the Necron equivalent of a treasure hoard. Truly, the machine god has smiled in this course of action. Instead, we get an upgrade to our Omnissiah Axe. 3 to 5 damage, and immobilizes target on the machine spirit. Neat. What do we have up next? Pieces of broken stone littering this chamber are covered in fragments of Necron hieroglyphics. This might suggest the target chamber is closed, and these fragments could also prove informative in themselves. Collect the fragments to study or repurposing on the Caestus Metallicon. This could give us Blackstone. Ignore the fragments. The mission is to destroy such things, not waste time reading them. This could be more cognition points. Reconstruct. Try to piece the fragments together into a coherent passage of hieroglyphics. This would contribute to either an awakening level or initiative. Something can we go with recover. Yep, the fragments are gathered up by the cohort. Though they are too broken up to prove an accurate translation, they are made of exotic materials the Necrons used for construction and can be melted down in the crucibles of the Caestus Metallicon. As expected, a little bit more blackstone. And on to the final battle. Gotta say, time sure flies when I'm having fun. Because I look at the time and it's already 10:44, or rather 45 p.m. Oh, another Necron Lord to deal with. Haven't had those in a while. Let's see, we also have an Immortal and a Lich Guard, dangerously close to us, so I'm thinking we go in this direction, which means Leonardus goes here, Jeremiah goes here, Manarius over here, and Oriacus here. Hey, not midnight yet. 11 p.m. coming up soon. Then it's time to deploy a Skitarii Vanguard and a Skitarii Ranger Alpha. I'd like to heal up those Skitarii Rangers first things first. For now, just stand over here and don't let them shoot you. Alright? I know you can do this. Leonardus, grab me those 2 cognition points, first and foremost. Then the third one over here. It looks like the only way up would be through this portion. Or that one, but I don't think we're gonna be going because of this Lich Guard. So you'll stay right here for now. Oh, and heal yourself up a little with Curatio Megadon right. Here comes the Immortal and the Necron Lord. What's this? What's this? Obstacles aplenty. Because you've got a lightning orb. Or was it something else? I cannot remember exactly, but yeah. Now our trail is growing more complicated. Let's see, you can't shoot from this far, but we can from this one. Yeah, should be good enough. Even if we have to spend a cognition point to get there. First we use Cognition Freedom. Then Energia Enhancer. And then we break out the Plasma Culverin just on the tip. If you have any armor, it sure better be stripped off from you right now. And might as well heal yourself up, because we can afford it right now. And hide behind this stele. It may go down next turn, but for now, it's a reprieve. Also, tell me a little bit more about the Lich Guard or the Necron Lord. Let's go with the Necron Lord. 30 HP, 3 physical armor, or 3 energy. Yep, nothing we cannot handle. Vanguard, you're up, which means you get over there and annoy the Lich Guard a little bit. No, not gonna use rapid fire. This would mean that he just comes up to you and smacks you dead, so you stay where you are. Instead, we're gonna be using someone else to do the dirty work for us. Any worthwhile things to use the Service Skull on? No. This stele with 2 cognition points is the only major source, and I'd rather not. So instead I'm thinking we go up to here. We break out the Phosphor Blast Pistol to see what he's got. 2 physical, 7 energy. The Omnissiah Axe is a good choice. But let's see his retaliation. Haha, missed. Let's get some cognition points back. Thank you. And we whack you again. If we're lucky, we'll take you down with this one strike. Not quite. One of lethal, as they say. 5 damage is bearable. And we get cognition back, which is fine by me. He whacks us again for 5 damage. We cannot whack him back right now, but thank you for the cognition again. And as before, we deploy the least injured Skitarii Ranger right here. Ranger Alpha, you are gonna go up here. Soon, very soon. And for the preparations, he'll miss every shot he takes at you. Leonardus, grab those 2 cognition points. And time to start shifting your advance towards this one. We'll deal with the Lich Guard. Don't you worry about that. Yep, here's the shot. It misses. Here comes the Necron Lord. He's gonna break out his orb. No, not yet. But what I will do is to pop Distant Prayers on this Skitarii. Then we... And we get over here and finish off the Lich Guard. Down it goes. And then we can hopefully fix up Jeremiah. Next turn, I'm thinking. In the meantime, Manarius, you stay where you are. We'll let the Necron Lord come a little closer, and then we're gonna blast them all with a Plasma Culverin. Finish that one off. And move on up. You, in the meantime, can jump out. Take a shot at the Immortal to reveal his stats. Energy armor. Nice crit, by the way. Good going, Ranger. If you survive this fight, you're up for commendation. Fix yourself up. And I'm thinking we push our cognition point a little further. Rather, we use it to push a little further. Not deploying anyone. But we will come to them. Will you go down? One of lethal, once again. Next time he moves, he is dead for sure. Huh. Here's a funny one. You won't believe that, but even though you banned that particular bot, it's back, but it's not visible to you. So I think I'm gonna go and ban it myself. already bent it. I guess they're just showing its message nevertheless. Down you go. Down you go. What you gonna do now? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Now, Auricus, I'm gonna delegate a very important task for you. You're gonna stay right there, and you're gonna collect all of the cognition points that fall out of this stele. It's important. And you're gonna be buffing this Skitari Ranger. Gilbreth puts this back into anti-camouflage skills. That's very good. It's always a useful skill to have. Now, if we angle it right, which is, I'm thinking, like this, this will eat into our budget a lot, but it will be a good result. 11 damage. And we stripped some armor off of you. Keep advancing. Once again, pop out tactic. Right here. Disabling shot. Regular shot. Pop back in. Jeremiah will continue trudging along. We'll let them come. A little bit of damage. No, not this time. Up at Awakening level 2, here comes Reinforcement. 1 immortal. No, excuse me, 2 immortals. No, another Lich Guard. We should be able to handle that. Absolutely. And I think it's time to deploy a Skitari Ranger over here to take pot shots at this Lich Guard. Right here. You should be able to pass through. But, first of all... Nina, 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 you cannot hurt me. I can, though. And so can he. Oof. Good critical. I'll give him that. Leonardus, continue moving up. And fixing yourself up as you go. Just need to get a little closer to you. Distant prayers on, I'm thinking, Jeremiah? No. On Skitari, Vanguard Alpha. After all, they cannot heal themselves. We also need to get a little closer. Or maybe we stay right here. After all, we can just pop Cognition Freedom. Energia Enhancer. Still needs 1 Cognition point to use. But that's why we have this Servo Skull for. We'll just grab it off here. Let loose the heavy arc rifle. Like so. Hopefully this will be enough to take him down. It absolutely was, and it was a crit. Now we're just gonna kill all of them? Yes, we still need to kill all of them. So this Immortal and this Lich Guard. I have no objections to that. Keep advancing. So do you. We get up close and personal, and we finally let loose the cognition mechadendrite. Because we are starving. And hopefully, you'll go down with the next turn. We'll see about that in a bit. Now Ranger will try to shift to a more favorable position where he can shoot the Lich Guard. You cannot shoot the Lich Guard from this angle, but that is fine. Just stand there. The next turn you should be able to handle that. Ranger Alpha goes here. Maybe even over here, just in case. The Immortal tries to get away and is still standing. How much damage? 6. A little hairy, but we do get cognition out of this. Leonardus moves up. We do need some space to move around. He kind of messed up our positioning with his lightning orb. Mechanicus, you stay where you are because you cannot get to either of these steles without compromising our gain. We continue our march. Now tell me what you can about this one. Oh, we stripped all of the armor from him. That's nice. Let's also go for a disable shot so we take no chances. Maybe I will just kill you outright and get some cognition points out of this. A 2-for-1 deal, if you ask me. Over here. Grab its attention. 7 physical, 2 energy. And now it's gonna go all the way around to get to us. Haha. This does, of course, pose a bit of a challenge because we cannot get through here, it seems. Yeah, we cannot. Which is a shame. On the bright side, just cut this one down. And if we could redeploy them in any recognizable fashion, that would have been fine. For now, it seems we're just gonna wait. Heal up this one. And the rest of us gotta move on out. Double time even, because we are starting to race against the clock with this. also wait up, Jeremiah. Continue firing. Some damage goes through eventually. And we will be absolutely shadowing you, don't you worry, you won't feel abandoned. Leonardus up here. And Jeremiah up here. You know what I almost forgot to do? Shift this guy. Shift the server scout to this guy. Yeah, those blocks cannot be cut down, unfortunately. It's just an annoying thing that we have to bear with. On the bright side, we can heal ourselves up as we go. Another one? No, not from this angle. So we're just gonna need to shift and let him come to us. Leonardus, you're finally given free reign, so go crazy. Look at him go. No obstacles. And he's clearing it like a champ. Heal yourself up. Now the final stretch will be covered by our esteemed guest over there. So we're just gonna continue moving on. Might even steal some cognition from here. We allow that one to move on up. And we take a cheeky jab at you to get some more cognition. You know what, might as well break out the power field generator for some nice damage on you. This will be a crit, so 13 damage. We almost got you. Almost. Now try and catch me, you metallic ass. Who do we fix up? I'm thinking we fix up Jeremiah. Up next, we place Monarius here and let him come to us. Very good. Can we get a good angle? Does not seem like it, so we're just gonna stand over here and let him come to us from here. Level 3. Awake, Tomb Awake level. Still bearable, but not ideal. Yep, come up, you shining metal ass. And you will be going down right now. You made us come all the way over here, so that's the least you can do. That was a bit annoying, but nothing too serious. The cohort enters the grand hall where the walls are covered in dense hieroglyphics recording Acropis's astronomical theories and readings. Demolition charges are placed at each corner, and the cohort falls back before detonating them, collapsing the chamber entirely and obliterating the knowledge inside. Precious and irreplaceable knowledge, but also dangerous beyond reckoning. I am not ignorant of the step you have taken, Mechanicus. Many tech priests would have been blinded to their duty by their lust for acquiring this forbidden knowledge. Not you. In my time on this planet, I have been aware of my emotional cores returning disgust, anger, and hatred at the deeds of the Necrons. Upon examining the logic of such emotional responses, I find them justified given the morale dangers the Necrons pose. Destroying them is the only rational course. I thank the Omnissiah you are in command of this mission. I believe the one true purpose is clear and that you have the strength to see it done. I can take you into my confidence now, Magus. Not bad at all. Next up, it's either House of Wisdom or Denied to the Enemy. No, not Denied to the Enemy. What was it? It was something else. Oh, it was House of Wisdom. Maybe it's time for the secret mission. The Third Seal. Teresus needs examples of less common Necron vocabulary. They could be found in the rantings of Lord Ubiao being transmitted through his tomb, and Teresus has asked a full version of the transmission to be acquired. We get an upgrade of our energy enhancer and upgrade to Infestus Mechadendrite, which will be nice. But first of all, time to do a bit of an upgrading. First of all, some nice hands for you. We're gonna be trading 1 physical damage for 20% crit chance increase. A fair trade-off if you ask me. Also a little bit of HP never hurts. And also we're switching out this Cognition Mechadendrite for the upgraded version. The Jumbo. It's not called exactly that, but I like the sound it makes. Time to also keep upgrading you up the Zenerite Tech 3. What do we have? Zenerite Torso, 5 HP. Zenerite Leg Augments, 20% crit chance and 2 meters of movement. Head, 2 HP and 1 physical armor. Arm, 3 HP. We'll start with Leg Augments then. What do your current legs do? 2 HP, 2 meters of movement. We'll trade out HP for crit chance. I'm thinking this will be worth it. And once again, we're switching Cognition Mechadendrite 2 for Cognition Mechadendrite 3. Now, Leonardus, you've got the latest Cog Occultaris. Yep, you do. You also have the latest Sanctus Canister, Jeremiah. And we will be replacing your heavy arc rifle, as promised, with something more energy efficient, or rather, physical damage dealing. But that comes later, after the secret mission. This should be easy. Jeremiah, Leonardus, Manarius, Mechanicus, 2 Rangers, Skitarii Ranger Alpha, and Vanguard. Skitarii stationed in the Tomb of Ubiao are reporting that Lord's rantings are being transmitted from somewhere inside the structure. What we can translate suggests he's quite insane. Ubiao is suffering from a version of the disease that created the Flayed Ones. Observation prompts curiosity, but not enough in itself to bring you to the command throne. Perceptive as always, Magus. It occurs to me that if we were to obtain a complete version of Ubiao's fragmented transmissions, they could help me translate some of the more obscure hieroglyphics among the Tesseract Vault's inscriptions. Your work on these inscriptions has proven illuminating thus far. Your request shall be considered, xenobiologist. To get a clean version of the transmission, you'll need to find the source and plant a relay skull on it. We can narrow down the approximate location, but it's still a wide area to search. Then we're looking for a Necron cogitator-like device. Once we find it, it's a simple matter of attaching the relay skull. Not quite so simple as getting there, which will involve a lot of flayed ones if the Skitarii reports from inside are accurate. Whittling down the flayed ones is an end in itself. If we can further our understanding of Necron history at the same time, the opportunity is worth the risks. Very well, Magus, but I don't envy anyone who has to go in there. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, yeah. Looks like this is the correct option. And we'll have an optional encounter, quote-unquote, over there to attend to. We already did. The fragmented transmission breaks through into the cohort's comsnet. The distorted voice speaks in the cohort's own language, as if automatically adapting to listener. Record the voice and transmit it to Caestus Metallicon. No need to reject or respond. We'll leave you on read. Fascinating. The transmission is as adaptive as a data virus, yet it seeks not to replicate itself but to be understood. There is a desperation to Ubiao's madness. Mindful of their mission, the cohort relays the transmission to secure cogitators on the Caestus Metallicon, where they can be properly studied. On to our battle encounter. What have we here? A Lich Guard, a Death Mark, 2 Lich Guards. This will be unpleasant. But at least the Death Mark is closer to us, which means we can cut it down reliably. Which means Leonardus goes here, Manarius here, Jeremiah here, and Oriacus here. No need to deploy any of the cohort just yet. Here they come. Deathmark shoots, deals a little bit of damage, but we'll get you in a second. To quote a certain black man, "I'll get you, bitch." Just gonna do a bit of a trick shot. tit for tat. And now... Oh, of course, can't forget that. Thank you for your contribution. Now die. Thank you. You've been very helpful so far. I do mean it. Mechanicus can stay over there for now. We'll let the Lich Guard approach us. Like that, single file, thank you. We'll grab all the cognition we can and scan them on our approach. Let's see what we get. 7 physical, 7 physical. Which means Manarius will be working out perfectly against them. She's gonna need to position you precisely. Well, nothing ventured. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Breakout, cognition freedom, the correct rituals, energy enhancer, and plasma culverin. Blown away. You know what, maybe for this one... No, not quite. This'll damage Leonardus for how much in theory? 4 to 7. This will be messy. Then again, it's... No, we can still blast that console to lower the Tomb Awake level a little bit. Even if it's just one console in here. Now I need to deploy anyone. Whack it. We get our cognition back, Necron Awakening goes down, we grab this. Now if I move a little closer, and apply some burn to you. Can we move away in time? We can, and we should. Now, that's not to say that we will be hitting you on the... I think I did have an ad break. It's supposed to be enabled automatically. Last I checked, at least. I wonder if it played. After all, I cannot see when an ad does come up in that regard. Where was I? Let them come. How much damage? 7. You'll almost go down. Just gonna need you to cooperate with me on this one. See, this is the problem with fun games. You forget the important bits. That is correct, but once again, it's supposed to be enabled automatically. Or rather, Let's see how the interface puts it. The advertisements are planned automatically. 1 minute per hour. Which means it should have played, last I checked. Also, another Artbot account has decided to follow me on Twitter. But that's neither here nor there. Not my concern. Let's get back to where we are supposed to be. That is over here. And whacking this one. All Xenos life forms purged, and look, we even get a little HP heal back, plus awakening reduced back to 0. Yep, stretching. As for the drink of choice, I did have a new energy drink out in the store called Best Shot. The taste is supposed to be kiwi cactus. I have a good feeling about this one. So let's give it a try. Yeah, pleasant taste, not too sugary. A good palate. Oh, foul! Think on Cathalamorian 71-6, Magus. By flame shall the unclean be made clean, by fire shall the unholy be made holy. A bizarre sight greets the cohort. A human corpse stripped of most of its skin, shambling forward and spouting snatches of Ubiao's datarand. Well, locally made, that's why it was cheaper than, say, a can of Red Bull. Pummel, Purge, or Probe? This thing might serve as a source of the transmission. Probe whatever lies inside its skull. The cohort attempts to subdue the abomination and insert a data probe into its cranium. Though a Necron construct lurks beneath the flayed skin, the probe only returns a babble of junk data before the construct discorporates in a tide of toxic gore. The cohort is badly affected by the toxins and slowed down on the path to their objective by the need to clean off the worst of the filth. Should have just cut it down. After all, do not stick your mechadendrites in the crazy. Unless it's a cognition mechadendrite. This was designed to be inserted.
Why have you come to this world? Why do you seek out this pain?
It's a complicated question, Ubiao. And I don't think we're gonna be answering to you, because you're dead. Through the local noosphere, a distant but powerful voice invades the cohort's consciousness, demanding the answer to the same question over and over. Fine, I guess we will be answering. Reply: to uncover the secrets of the Necrons. This reply is met with a burst of images. Immense cyclopean cities, vast orbital structures imprisoning whole worlds, marching armies of Necron warriors streaming across entire continents, and the implications of conquest and supremacy on a galactic scale. While blasphemous and distressing, they provide an undeniable insight into the Necron mindset. Oh shit, we just got blasted with a little Dark Age edit, Necron edition. I'm sure someone already has one of these out on YouTube or similar platforms. We just need to look for them hard enough. What music do Necrons even listen to? I can partially translate this. It is a request, I think, asking for pain and destruction to be bestowed upon the speaker. That can be correct? Can that be correct? No, I must have made an error somewhere. This is why I need more sample data. A snatch of Ubiao's transmission echoes through the tomb, turned into an audible form by hidden voxcasters. Subvert? Yep. The cohort locates a Necron device resembling a voxcaster and improvise a connection to their comms unit. They speak the seventh admonition against apostasy and demagoguery. It booms throughout the tomb, and the cacophony of noise throws off the Necrons trying to locate them, as well as the emboldening of the Skitarii nearby. Sometimes you just gotta hit them with an A&A. Tech priests must escape. I'm guessing once we get there, we'll have to kill off the rest of them. But that remains to be seen. What do we got? 2 Lich Guards, a Death Mark, and a Lonely Flayed one. Same as before. Jeremiah goes here, Leonardus goes here, Benarius goes here, Oriacus goes here. And I think we can afford to add a Skitarii Ranger. Let them come. And an assortment of ghost turrets scattered around here and there. Oh, excuse me, there's 3 Lich Guards. Slightly more dangerous to deal with. Dangerous, even. If we move over here, we will get shot. Still, nothing ventured, nothing gained. So first of all, how much further can we shoot? Over here. There goes the shot. Ooh, critical, 5 damage. But thank you for the cognition. What do you have? 7 physical, 2 energy. About what I expected. You're gonna whack me? Of course you won't. So, cognition freedom. Arc Scourge. Even if it's just 3 damage. Now he tries to hit us. He misses. We got lucky on that one. We whack him again to build up the machine spirit. He tries to whack us again. He misses. Now we jab him with a cognition mechadent, right? And can we move away? We cannot. This will trigger an opportunity attack. So instead we're just going to pop Sanctus Canister on what was it? Jeremiah. And we'll leave it at that for now. Next, we can go over here and deal... No, that's Oriacus. I don't know why I decided to boost Oriacus when Jeremiah is standing right there. So we're gonna play a game of keep away. We get over here, and we'll break out the plasma gamma pistol. For a nice 4 damage. Damage absorbed, as expected. We stay right here. It do be like that sometimes. Now, can we kill you in one shot, little buddy? I don't think we can, but we can at least understand. What do you have? 3 HP. That's all. That means we are moving on up here. And Leonardus will take care of the death mark. Just because it will be an annoyance as we advance. also because it is delightfully fragile. I do love those crits of his. And we will absolutely be whacking this console. Now, Manarius, I am going to need you to deal with this one. I'm fairly certain you can do that even without popping the Energia Enhancer. So off you go. Like that. You can even walk up to it and grab one cognition off of it. This will be fine. Tomb Awakening level 2, so I suppose we can whack a bit more of those consoles. Another death mark enters the phrase, and I see an immortal. Is that correct? No, just a regular warrior. More fodder then. That means we're deploying the second Skitarii Ranger. Up comes the Lich Guard. And the warrior. How much damage are you gonna do? Buddy old pal, 2 damage. About as expected. Now, Jeremiah, go ahead and introduce yourself to that death mark. I'm sure it will go swimmingly. Like that. Precisely like that. And then get into position to deal with that console. I think we can even break out the Arc Scourge for this one. And stay where you are. The Lich Guard will find you. Next, Oriacus can finish off that death mark. Because he can. How far can Cognis Flamer reach? Not far enough. Once again, you stay where you are. Or I suppose you can pop Distant Prayers on Manarius. This will do. Next we entice this one to come closer and learn a little more about it. Physical, 2 physical, 7 energy. That's good to know. We're gonna need to get up close and personal to him. Which will be a daunting prospect. But not too scary considering the resources we have at our disposal. Still, ooh, counterattack is nasty. And we're not gonna risk moving away. I think we will. I see no retaliation strike prompt. So yeah, it's only counter strikes that are dangerous. We whack the next one. To burn down even more Tomb Awake level, we grab another cognition point. And we go say hello to the Necron Warrior if it decides to move. Here it comes. Now I'm thinking we can afford to go over here. Also, don't forget that we need to get to that point on the map. Reminder to myself. Heavy arc rifle go. Looks like we did some damage, so here's most likely it's 7 physical, 2 energy on this one. And we move away a bit. How common can you get? And just to prove my theory, nice bit of critical. Not about as much damage as I expected. Can we shoot you from this far? Absolutely can. Let's lure you away. Not going down just yet, huh? Fine, be it that way. Just gonna keep moving away. We do it like that, with no cognition loss for us. And we will even go for a little cognition gain. We'll be dealing with you in a bit. I don't like is this. This will deal 0 damage to him because it's just Skitarii Rangers shooting. So I suppose we can go for a bit of a sneakier approach like that. Very nice. Now let's see if he's gonna proc against any of them. Shoot back. Very nice crit. Yep, still can't move away. So we stay right here. Because if we whack him, retaliation is gonna be nasty, let me tell you this much. In the meantime, tell me your secrets. Huh, 7 physical, 2 energy, actually. That was too close. Danger close, danger close. Ooh. On the right side, we've got disabling shot, so... Thank you, your sacrifice will not be forgotten. Disable that one. And stay right here. Next up, Leonardus. Deal with that Necron warrior. Immediately. By this point, I think I'm gonna start calling you the Crumple Zone, because that is what your accent crits feel like. If you're not in the immediate vicinity of... If you're in the immediate vicinity of Leonardus, you're in the Crumple Zone. Simple as. And you are going to sleep. Spared no expenses. This'll do nothing. But now it's time to actually deploy Skitarii Ranger Alpha, because things are getting a little hairy. Now if we do it like that, excuse me for a second. Alright, back to it. I'm thinking we do it like so. Tries to move away. One opportunity attack. Second. Still not quite enough. But this should be enough to put him down. Wonderful. And the rest can start moving towards the evacuation zone. What was that son of a supposed to mean? Things are looking fine as is. And if you're talking about the crumple zone, well, it came up with it first. I can't take credit for that one. Nobody left to deploy, so we are moving on up. Attack priests stay where they are. And the rest move up as best as they can. That it? No. That was also a kill all enemies, as expected, but we got them all. In regards to getting damaged the second he got put in, well, yes, that was unpleasant. The cohort attaches a relay skull to an ancient, gore-encrusted cogitator they confirm is the source of Lord Ubiao's strange, ranting transmissions. The arcane device relays the content of the transmissions directly to Teresus on the Caestus Metallicon. This is perfect, Mechanicus. Though the content is troubling, the obscure references and linguistic forms are already solving some of the most difficult problems the Tesseract's translation has posed. Fascinating that Ubiao's very madness gives his words the qualities needed to complete a translation. The Omniscience shows knowledge is found often by the crooked path. Oh, the translation is far from complete, but I feel I have got further than any other Magus would, thanks to the linguistic samples the tombs of Silva Tenebris have provided. My emotional cores return significant curiosity about the history of the Necrons, the rise of these Necron tier and their war with the Old Ones, truly momentous events that have hitherto been hidden from us. And there is so much more for us to know, Magus, so much more. Just be careful with what you learn. because Cognito Hazard is an actual threat in Warhammer universe, especially to the likes of you. And we can also immediately move on to the second one, the fourth seal. That would be Vizier Mhalop's historical records, which we've yet to meet. It will give us Zenorite Mechadendrite, a third version of Energy Enhancer, and some Blackstone. But we'll get to that one a little later. For now, Leonardo Snow. Monarius. You've got slots to spare, so congratulations, we're replacing your Energy Enhancer with a better version. Up next, I'm thinking, where was it? We go for either Cog Occultaris, or we go for the Solar Atomizer. That's a beast of a weapon in cognition cost. Or alternatively, we grab the Incendine Combustor. I think we can go for that one. Also Sanctus Canister upgrade. Engage and destroy 3 groups of flayed ones so their discorporation can be observed. Tech Acquisitor Scaevola has mentioned this mission is of great importance to her research, but has neglected to log why it's so important. Cryptex, Necron Immortals, Necron Destroyers, 2 versions of Immortals, and flayed ones. Nothing we cannot handle, even if the difficulty is hard. Same deal as before. Error. Cognitive duality detected. Construct form designate flayed one. Research eliminating equal true, yet frustrating equal true. Energy readings suggest flayed one teleportation upon deactivation is anomalous, non-standard, different. Different? Then where do they go? Multiple hypotheses string. 1. Pocket dimension. 2. A region of the Empyrean peculiar to flayed ones. 3. Unknown energy state. Hypothesis prove, disprove. Engage a large group of construct designate flayed one and observe discorporations. Your request is taken under advisement, Scaevola. It shall be considered against the many other mission priorities. Magus, I cannot but help notice your indulgence of Tech Acquisitor Scaevola. I urge you the strongest caution. For what purpose, Videx? Scaevola is a tech priest of Styges 8, a notorious nest of tech heretics. Recall the words of the Amaranthine admonitions. If it resembles a heretic, if it speaks like a heretic, and if it be redolent to the nose as if like a heretic, then a heretic it will be. Grave accusations, Lector Dogmatis. And not ones I make lightly. But I pray you, Magus, do not trust Scaevola. Gathalamorians 9714. He who aids the blasphemer, even through ignorance, has the blood of the faithful upon his hands. And so the tug of war begins, between the radicals and the Puritans. At least there is no shortage of flayed ones for your cohort to engage, Magus. My Skitarii have fended off so many attacks from those creatures we're in danger of losing what little control of the tomb we have. Consequence string follows. Combat engagement, observation of teleportation process, tech lore insights, improved combat effectiveness, ultimate victory. As long as that involves killing a lot of them, Scaevola, I'm on board for this one. Can you plot a mission solution that leads to the highest concentrations of flayed ones? That should not be a problem, Magus. Just follow the screaming. One, 2, 3, 4. Efficient and clean. The cohort becomes aware of the gleaming blades, dripping flayed hides, and beady Necron eyes in the shadows around them. The flayed ones are stalking them, perhaps to observe, perhaps in preparation for an ambush. Let's go for subtle option. The cohort tries to move silently and unseen, but the flayed ones know this ground far better and outflank them. The pack launches a lightning attack on the cohort, inflicting several injuries before melting back away into the darkness. We'll get you, bitches. We'll get you. Scanner destroy this console. That should be easy. We just put Leonardus here, Jeremiah here, Manarius here, and Oriacus here. As long as the platform does not move away, we just move it up and let it carry us over. Who do we got up next? Couple of flayed ones, couple of immortals, nothing we cannot handle, as per usual. But do tell me about that one. 3 energy armor. And you know what? For this one I'm gonna pop the overcharged cognition. Because you deserve it. Phosphor blast pistol. Physical armor. How fortunate. Are we in range? Not quite. But if we go tit for tat, even like so. This should be enough to kill you. And then we'll break out the Arc Scourge. If we move up over here. Forgot to pop the Cognition Freedom, but that's fine. We still get the Cognition Mechanism right to get it back up. He moves away, and he almost dies. 6 damage. Unpleasant. But we still have Cognition. Oriacus can at least ease his pains with distant prayers. And then start moving on up. Another shot. Another 6 damage. There we go. And with that, I'm thinking we can... Oh, some more flayed ones. Nothing we cannot handle still. Also, we can deploy some of our cohorts. I'm thinking Skitarii Ranger and Skitarii Vanguard. No damage? No damage. Leonardus, I believe you will be destroying this one on the very next, on this turn. There's the black stone. Now, do we kill them all? We kill them all. That was to be expected. Now, admittedly, it was a bit of a waste. Yet, it will all work out in the end. I can tell you this much. Next time you move, things will get very educational for both of us. I guarantee you that. Now, Vanguard. Time to pop off rapid fire. and start blasting at least this flayed one. Down it goes, and a pot shot at this immortal. Nice damage. Nice damage all around. I'll scoot over here. We're gonna need to wait to deal with you, or we can stab you with a Zerite Mechadent, right? No, not yet. Not worth it. But you know what? Worth it. Dealing with you. Then we pop on out over here. We check if you have any damage to show off. Or other armor. No. Now we can slink back away because the flayed ones will go after Jeremiah. Like that. They're very single-minded creatures. Now, Oriacus will be more than enough to deal with this one, so... Even if he is not, we still got the Flamer, and that will be enough. Especially with crits like that. And fix up Jeremiah. No, that's a waste. This will hurt a bit. Still manageable, still manageable. And the flayed ones continue on with their march. Still taking cheap shots. Because they can. This, however, won't be a cheap shot. But don't worry, we will fix you up. I'm just gonna do it like so. So we do that. Hey, that was not a disabling shot. That was not a damaging shot. You... Oh, fine. I'm just gonna let you come closer to me from this angle. You are starting to be lackluster in terms of damage, but revealing the target statistics on a shot can sometimes be invaluable. I'll tell you this much. Now then, you're all nice and lined up. Let's see how much damage we can do with a Plasma Culverin. Especially if we get over here. Pop Cognition Freedom. It's a straight line. But it should be more than enough if we angle it like so. Vaporized. And I think we can also afford to pop the heavy arc rifle like that. Oh, but first, Energy Enhancer. And then the heavy arc rifle. Get deleted. That's a 3-fer. Now we're back to Tomb Awakening level 1. No, not yet. We grab this Cognition. And we delete you. So long. Oh, and fix yourself up, because you can. Now we just need to clean up the chaff. Those two. This'll be easy. More than easy, even. This might be a bit of a waste. So I'm not gonna be doing it with you, Mechanicus. Instead, we'll do the sensible thing and do it with Jeremiah. Good night. Speaking of good night, it is getting somewhat late, but I figure we can at least start a boss mission, at least start it. Empyrean readings processing, further illumination confirmed, hypothesis confirmation process, further observation of sub-resonances of Wither Shin's phase waves required. Cleanse the corruption of this place with incense and prayer. Check surrounding chambers for more flayed ones lying in wait. Search the site of the firefight for components that might have evaded teleportation. Exploration or observation? Let's go for observation. Now, thorough research in the chamber exposes the cohort to the strange radiations of the flayed one's discorporation, accompanied by hallucinatory flashes. They seem to show a heaving landscape of skinned bodies, glistening beneath the light of alien stars. The visions fade when the cohort moves on. I hope it was not a vision of ghoul stars. That region is whack even by 40k standards. You know what? I think I'll even dig up a short description of what's in there. What I'm referring to specifically, that is. The Bone Kingdom of Drazak. The Bone Kingdom of Drazak is effectively a Necron leper colony, as it is inhabited entirely by flayed ones. They roam the ruins of their world, fighting each other for scraps of meat and bone. Their overlord, Valgul the Fallen, is somehow immune to the flare virus and is therefore the only sane Necron on Drazak. He spends most of his time sitting on a throne blade of broken bones and flayed skin, but every few months he rounds up his batshit crazy subjects for Time of Bounty, which is the fancy way of saying violently raid nearby planets to acquire more squishy organic bits to fight over. The Ghoul Stars is just, well, a very... how did I put it? Not even mysterious, just straight up unnerving region of space. There are other things in there which do not bode well, but we'll get to that one possibly at some point a little later. For now, let's focus on the mission at hand. Which means time for the next encounter. And it's a straight up kill them all. How nice of them. What's the welcoming committee? 1 destroyer, 1 immortal, and... no, 2 immortals. A flayed one, and a cryptek. Plus plenty of consoles to loot and smash. But only if we go for the fastest route. Which means Leonardus, you are up. Manarius, you are here. Jeremiah is supposed to be up here. And Oriacus over here. For this insolence, I'm going to blast you with a plasma culverin or a heavy arc rifle. Because that was some whack shit, yo. But our priority target right now would be that Cryptek. And I will absolutely send him to the Shadow Realm. Maybe not with this strike, but with the next one. And get our cognition back. Now we're golden. So about that time you hit me with your heavy plasma destroyer. Three physical armor, or rather energy armor, huh? That's cute. That's very cute. But see this? Not so fun now, is it? What about you, by the way? Also energy armor, as expected. Well, I guess we're just gonna be whacking these flayed ones then. Like so. And even like so. I'll even grab this little bit of cognition. And then I'm gonna make eyes at you and say, you're next. Come and get me, you country matters. Heal back up. And taste the fire. It's good for your health. Or not. It's good for mine, I know that. And just so that there's no funny business, you stay down. Thank you for your understanding. I'll see you later. You stay down too. Extra Necrons in battle. Who are we getting? A Triarch Praetorian. How annoying. And a regular ass warrior. Time to bring out the big guns, and by big guns I mean Skitari Ranger and Skitari Vanguard. Maybe not the Vanguard just yet. Catch me if you can. And he did do some damage. Absorbed? No, still 2 damage goes through. Not as bad as it could have been. For now, though, we get over here. We start dialing back the Tomb's awake level with all our might. Not forgetting about that sweet, sweet Blackstone. We must, because we can. Everything going good so far? No. This will be a bit of an overkill if we do it like that. But it's not an overkill if we shoot Triarch Praetorian with you. We're just gonna need to angle it properly, like so. We'll find out in a bit whether this was worth it. Also grab these 2 cognition points. Yeah, we're moving up like that. That's a bit too far away, so we'll leave you there. Maybe we can pop a Sanctus canister on Oriacus to deal with the Triarch Praetorian. But that leaves us with only 2 cognition points, so that's not enough. What we're gonna do instead is we're gonna buff up the Ranger. We're gonna shoot you with a Gamma Pistol. Not enough still, huh? In that case, we're going into melee. That should be enough, right? It was enough. Just what I wanted to see. And have a burn. Movement reduced on account of Tesla weaponry. And we shoot that one again. Hopefully it will be enough to... It was absolutely enough. Nicely done. In that case, you stay here. And go for a disabling shot. Oh, right. He's gonna get back up again in a second. But then again, we've got all of the cognition we're gonna need in a second. Even with that damage, I'm still gonna take you down. And you won't be able to break my stride. So for that, I am deploying Iskitari Ranger Alpha, or maybe Iskitari Vanguard, over here. You're gonna shoot him? You're gonna shoot him. Because you're a bastard like that. You're a Necron after all. A Necron Destroyer, to be precise. Whack the second console. And get up here to be prepared to whack the next one next turn. Maybe. For now, just grab all the cognition you can. And that sweet, sweet Blackstone. Now your ass is gonna be grass. In 30 seconds from now. Nice reanimation protocol, nerd. But I'm better. Not quite there, but if we get over here, I think. Maybe that's not the right angle. This one should be. Have fun with that. I'm curious about what other people are playing this game. And what other people are doing that, if I may ask. Now this one is gonna be a bit of a gamble, but I think this will be worth it. I'll go like this, and then Arc Scourge. And we get all the cognition we need. How do you feel about starting at 4 AM to catch other VTubers, huh? In theory I can do it, I just need to abandon starting at 10 PM for a chance to wake up at 4 AM. And I'll have to be extra quiet because, well, everyone else in the house will be asleep by that point in time, if you can imagine. Actually, I noticed that about a lot of your games. But I'm quiet? Or was it something else? Anyone? Not quite there, so we continue applying the burn. To 4 AM VTubers, never 10 to 11 PM. Ah, well, I guess that's just a quirk of the games I've chosen. Also, very nice crit there. Situation analysis in progress. Analysis complete. Recommendation follows. Leave. The cohort's auspexes and red sniffers observe exotic radiation in the chamber, but little that is of value. However, remaining in this chamber causes the cohort to suffer fleeting hallucinations of a desolate realm choked with corpses, beneath a burning black sky. More visions of ghoul stars, I imagine. And a second encounter with Necron Lord for tonight. You know, they qualify as mini-bosses, so I suppose 2 mini-bosses equals 1 boss? I didn't lie in that regard. Kill all enemies. We've got a lot of flayed ones around, a lot of consoles, a couple of immortals, a Cryptek, and of course the Necron Lord. Oh, and even a Destroyer. Though that one should be not so scary. At least for now. Leonardus goes here, Jeremiah goes here. Manarius here, and Oriacus here. And I'm thinking we can deploy at least a Skitari Ranger. Let them come. I grow impatient. Cryptek, as usual, is our priority target. Unfortunate that he's got physical armor, but our crits should be enough to break through it, especially if we pop the power field generator. To give us some more power. Now we're motivated. One of lethal as per usual. And stay right there. Again, let them come. This will be overkill, but if we angle it just right, we'll get that console as well, and it won't be a complete waste. So, Cognition Freedom. And Plasma Culverin. Down goes that flayed one, with a nasty crit, and the console. How much? 3 damage. Not as unpleasant, but you go down with a nasty crit of our own. Here comes Immortal. Looks like this drape is how they'll be able to move around. Or at least it's kind of stuck in there, waiting for the others. Now I trust Jeremiah to be able to handle these. Especially if we do it like so. Already 2 cognition gained from that crit. I'll let the other one come closer. Here comes Necron Lord. No, he's lying in wait. But what I will do is to patch up Jeremiah a little bit, and then moving on to deal with that flayed one. Cognis Flamer go. Unfortunate that it's not quite far enough to reach this angle, especially if we move up. Do you have any other sources of cognition around, by the way, besides this cube? I don't think so, so we gotta use it sparingly. So you stay right here. Here come the flayed ones. Good crit, keep it up. Or rather, good shot. Damage absorbed as expected. Damage absorbed. Damage absorbed. And thank you for the cognition. Now we get over here. And we shoot, and we score. This one's gonna hurt. 5 damage. We're gonna need to heal you up sooner rather than later. Next, we're gonna be deploying at least a second Skitarii Ranger close to Oriacus so he can be healed up. Don't die. Time to pop the Litany of Life. And I'm gonna go and have a nice chat with you. Even if you've got physical armor, I'm revoking your privileges on it. Next time you move, you're dead, kiddo. That's right, come a little closer. Maybe the heavy arc rifle will be enough to deal with all of you. And give me all of that cognition of yours. You stay down. And we can move on up. Finally, the Necron Lord is getting off its ass. Popping reanimation protocol as expected. Heal up this Skitarii Ranger. He deserved it. But next is, I'm thinking we go on up. Actually, we do it like that. Shoot that guy. And we let them come. Kill that one. Shift position. 2 damage as expected. Finish off that one. And shift your position. You, as we've discussed previously, are dead. No appeals, that was crit damage. You're dead. Next, we're gonna be deploying Skitarii Ranger Alpha, once again close to Mechanicus. And then we're gonna be introducing ourselves to the Necron Lord over there, because he does not want to move. And if the mountain does not want to come to Muhammad, you know how the rest goes. Finish off that one. Are they coming after you, by the way? No, they're going after the Skitarii Rangers. So in that case, just move up close to the Immortal and let him come to you, or rather attack you. Now this one should be blocked. Again, this is a bit of a waste. But right now, I'd rather have us get over here. No harm, no foul. And we leave you there for now. Yep, there's the opportunity attack. Moves away, tries to shoot, and misses. Here come the rest of the flayed ones, which we will be dealing with momentarily. Like that. And a 1. And a 2. And a 3. I like it when they ragdoll. Now the Necron Lord is gonna try and walk away. Just reanimation protocol, which is not that effective if memory serves right. Let's buff up this brave little Skitari Ranger. Deal some damage to this flayed one. And maybe see about applying some damage to the Immortal there. If we can angle it so that it doesn't hurt the Vanguard. Nice. Again with those cheap shots. But if you insist, I'll oblige. Next, we want to get rid of this console as well. If we're lucky. We did. Now we just stay here. Anyone else coming? Triarch Praetorian, that's unpleasant. Time to deploy Skitari Vanguard over here. Also time to deal with your sorry ass. What are you made out of anyway? Can I scan you? Yeah, we just need one more solid hit and you'll be dead. That's it. I hope I've made myself clear. You hear me? We're in the face level here, so hopefully you've heard me. I'd like to think that we'll get him next turn. But just so that we are on the same page here... Rapid fire. Start late into the Triarch Praetorian. Yes, opportunity strike, nothing too serious. What we need is those cognition points. Tries to move away, gets whacked. Still not quite dead. Skitari Vanguard, however, is dead, so hats off in the chat. The guy earned it. I'll say this much. And that should be enough to finish you off like that. Good damage all around. You know what, maybe I will spend a bit more cognition points. I will deal with you personally. Or at least send you off. For killing my Vanguard Alpha. Next time you try to move, you'll also be more or less done for. Another reanimation protocol pop. 4 repaired on that Triarch Praetorian. 1 damage there. Don't worry, you will be going down soon. I'll make sure of that. And even though you've got 2 physical armor, I'm still going to burn your ass. Funnily enough, that console will burn down quicker than you. What are you trying to prove with these stunts? Sit down. You're still alive, you're still alive. You, however, won't be alive for too long. Come on, just one more. One more crit is all I'm asking for. I'm thinking we can roll it back to Tomb Awakening 0. It's just gonna need a little more. There goes Necron Lord. Very nice. Not gonna be worth it. So next step, we just whack this one. Not before extracting cognition, mind you, because cognition is always important. Down it goes, down it goes. Very nice. We can afford to throw it around a little bit. Here comes Triarch Praetorian. Being an asshole, as per usual. He's gonna kill my... nobody. He's gonna kill nobody. And now, you're going to die. Necron, there are no hoes here. This is Kaistus Metallic and Strike Force. You're going to die. The final pack of flayed ones discorporates beneath the cohort's assault. Their readings continue to provide strange and contradictory results. Wherever the flayed ones teleport to, it is not to the alternative dimension or of the warp, but to somewhere else entirely. Hypothesis disapproval. Flayed 1 destination, our reality equal false, immaterium equal false. I return bafflement and curiosity at these conclusions. The Necrons have no end of strange depths to be plumbed. Addendum personal observations, Magus Dominatus Faustinius. 1. Clear dedication to knowledge. 2. Willingness to gather intelligence on Xenos. 3. Minimal adherence to obstructive dogma. Magus Faustinius equal ally to my kind. Your kind? Linguistic normalization protocols enacted. I am not on this mission by chance. My allies ensured I was sent here. Beneath Silver Tenebris lies more than just a legion of Necrons. It is time to bring you into my confidence, Magus Faustinius. Are you a heretic? Me? No, never. And no awakening gauge increase after this mission. If only we hadn't lost our Vanguard Alpha, this would have been a perfect mission. But alas. Now, as I promised, time to go after the Lord Astronomer, or at least gonna start. The Skitarii have located the sarcophagus of Lord Acropis in his tomb. Prime Hermeticon Caprix requests a high-risk mission to be sent to destroy Acropis. Anything else we can apply? I believe we've got... Yep, there it is, Sanctus Canister, which goes on Jeremiah. Yeah, running in fumes right now. We're gonna be closing up soon enough, not to worry. Just gonna give you another level in Zenorite for corrupted technology. Apply Sanctus Canister. And next time, I'm thinking we're gonna even give you a Curatio Mechadendrite. Either this one or that one, depending on what comes first. Save up. And on that note, we can end it for tonight. Thank you all for coming, and I will see you all tomorrow when we go back to Shadowrun. Have a good one.